What is going on, you average gamers? In this video, I'm going to rant about the new Call of Duty that's out. Nothing really that bad, just more about the community. If you don't want to stick around for that, I highly recommend sticking around for some of these clips. I have AR clips and sniper clips and search and destroy that will probably kind of blow you away. So stick around for that, of course. The things that I want to talk about is basically solely around Call of Duty. So if that's something that you don't normally play, you might not really understand the things that I'm talking about. But the things that I really want to cover again is the community and that phrase, don't hate the player, hate the game. Because that phrase alone just irritates my soul. I feel like that phrase was just made up by somebody that just takes advantage of every single thing that this game gives you. You know, for example, how crazy a rocket launcher might be, or riot shield, shotguns, you know, all that type of stuff. And it's like, well, then why don't you use it? It's because I don't want to feel like I'm forced to just to have to compete with the gun and not the player. So that's already a problem I'm seeing in this game. I do like this game. If you hate this game, you just hate Call of Duty, because this is the most Call of Duty-esque game I've played in a long, long time. Before I get really into it, the things I want to talk about is the game itself, such as like the maps, the game modes, all of that. Everything remains the same. The gunplay, you know, they always make minor changes or maybe drastic changes. To me, I don't really notice any of these changes. Yes, like the guns feel different from year to year, but you're gonna get used to it pretty quickly, especially when you start putting attachments on and all that. So the gun handling and the gunplay, very fun. The TTK, which is the time to kill in this game, is another thing that kind of just irritates my soul, because I feel as if you get punished for just moving around the map, and there's so many times I've seen bad players get rewarded for staying in the same spot, wasting everybody's time. You know, whether they're on defense and just letting the bomb just explode because they don't want to die, or just not caring to play the OBJ, which, you know, can definitely mess up your entire team. To go back on that phrase I just said a little bit ago, don't hate the player, hate the game. So I've been playing Call of Duty since MW3, so was that since 2011, so for over 10 years. I haven't devoted as much time as I did back in the day. But one thing that I want to point out is there's never, not one time, that I wanted to use something to get a particular advantage. Like, the biggest example I can give of this is back in the 2019 Modern Warfare, where people would run around with riot shields and 725, you know, and act like there is a giant skill gap in the game. And yet I still played the game, never used it. I still sniped. And that's something that I basically only really play Call of Duty for. And I understand that some people might see sniping as a new thing to do. To me, it's a lot harder than running around with any other weapon in the game. You're more than welcome to try. You know, you might have a good game one game, and then you'll go 2 into 7, 2 and 8 the next game, because you're either getting hit markers or getting beamed across the map in a few amount of bullets. This game, like I keep saying, it's pretty good. Of course, it just needs a little bit of help. The developers are working on it, from what I've heard. The game from launch until now has been a huge W, because the game at launch was terrible, and there's been a lot of improvement, so that's always nice to see. And in due time, of course, the game is going to get a little bit more balanced. It just takes, you know, a little bit to see what actually needs fixed. Some of the things they can't change, though, are these terrible map designs and choices that they went with. Like the border map, you know, I'm sure that's like universally hated just because of these cars that keep exploding. And again, people get rewarded for just shooting an RPG randomly or throwing some random nade, and it's like, dog, that's already irritating when it happens randomly, you know, and now it's just, that is just amplified 100-fold. And there's nothing to really stop it besides, again, not move. But there's some other maps that are so big, I feel like people have that same logic. It's like, I'm not really going to move, or I'm going to go sit myself in this one building, because there's so much open space that, again, there's no incentive to really move. A lot of players aren't going to sit there and think strategically, like such as myself and some of the friends I play with, like, hey, I'm going to move from this position to the next one because it's got some cover. You know, I probably won't be shot at that much because there's a few things in the way. Whereas, you know, say regular Timmy is like, yeah, I'm just going to sit in this building. There's no reason for me to move. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, here I am trying to work myself across the map to get some picks or help my team, and we got somebody that's just not moving. Now, I'm not saying that you have to play like me at all. I'm just saying I feel like that's how the game is specifically made, for people to be more comfortable playing that way. The next thing that I want to talk about is the amount of shit talking that happens in this game. Now, for anyone that plays this game, you already know the minute that you load into the game, you can breathe onto the mic, and you got racial slurs, you got a bunch of name calling, you know, talking about your mother, your father, your grandmother, your sister, your pet goldfish. It don't matter. These kids are relentless. And, you know, of course it's funny sometimes, but the fact that it's been going on for like the last 10 years, it's just draining, bro. You know, like you can't even, again, you can't even say hi or nice shot without somebody going, oh, you're just a fucking pussy, blah, 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 and all that. It's like, bro, your ego's too big. Don't jump off of it, okay? Because your life might end. Please, just listen to me. Stop with that, okay? It's Call of Duty. It's not that hard. Now, as somebody that's playing or played Call of Duty basically his entire life, I'll tell you right now, I just started playing Sekiro, played a little bit of Elden Ring. Those games take skill. Those games are very, very hard. And I guarantee you that any person that solely plays this game, if they were to play those other games, would sit there and struggle and give up. You know, now I'm not saying that you have to be playing those games to be a gamer by any means, but there's just this weird mentality around that being good at Call of Duty actually takes a lot of skill. Doesn't, dude. I mean, look at how many people are good at this game. It's not that hard. You point and you click and you shoot. It's pretty simple. I'm sorry. It's really not that hard of a game. You know, there's not. How many of you have dropped over 30 kills in Search and Destroy? I did that twice in the 2009. I say twice. I had 29 and then I hit 31. So that counts as twice. Okay? Back in the 2019 Modern Warfare, and it's like the next game I can go like 4 and 6, and it's like, ooh, dog shit, you're negative and blah blah blah. It's like, dog. No offense, but you'll never drop 30, and it's like because this guy's using an RPG or is running around with dead silence 24/7, and there's something. There's always some variation of something in the game that can just change how that match is. You know, you could play those guys again and go 10-0 the very next time. Like it just depends. Some people are just on it, and maybe you're just having an off game or an off day. And, you know, you're being quickscoped from somebody that usually goes 1-4. You see what I'm saying? It's like there's always something like that in Call of Duty. So it's a little irritating, especially since you know, I've basically seen it all. The number one thing that I find hilarious is a bunch of people that say that this game is dog shit. And I feel like the majority of those people that say that are people that only played the 2019 Modern Warfare and had that muscle memory built up of slide canceling for years that they feel as if a part of that is missing. I'm glad that mechanic's out. You know, I took advantage of it too. It's a pretty overpowered thing to have in the game. But so many people rely on that one thing that you weren't good at Call of Duty. You were good at slide canceling. And that's not a really amazing skill to have. You know, like compared to anybody that's good at first-person shooters, right? Those are, like, think about Shroud or, oh my god, there's so many good first-person shooter players. But Shroud is always like the first person that pops in my head. You know, like, that's the skill gap. It's not how fast you're able to slide cancel and how fast you're able to move. None of that matters, especially now. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for my rant. Tell me how you feel down in the comment section. I'm not looking for people to agree with me. At the same time, I'm not trying to sit here and have a 40 comment discussion arguing with somebody. So I'm not going to give you the time of day if you're just being toxic, all right? Anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed a lot of these clips. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. That would mean an absolute ton. And be sure to check out all my other content. I play a lot of games. As always, I love y'all, and I hope you guys stay smooth. Peace.
Dude, I love this gun.
Oh, you just go for it.
Oh, yeah, beam.
Oh, nice.